Hello YouTube, hello Twitch. We are in with the next requested guide on the YouTube channel, and it is the Incomparable, the stealthiest tier 10 battleship in the game, with a blistering good stealth value of 10.6 kilometers. Yes, you heard right. You have 10.6 kilometers of concealment and you have 508mm guns. How does that work together? Well, how does that fitting? Ask Wargaming. Now, how do you play this ship? This ship is very squishy and super easy to citadel. You also have an overmatchable nose and back, so BBs will overmatch in front and back. As long as you're angled, you have 50mm of side plating, which is rather tanky, but once you show broadside, you're very easy to citadel. This thing is all about nasty surprises and the speed. It's a very fast ship as well. You have a speed boost, a hydro, and a spotter plane. But the main core about it is you have 32mm of overmatch on the guns, and you have again the insane concealment. To put it into perspective, you outspot a Des Moines by 200 meters. As dumb as it sounds, but you outspot a Des Moines by 200 meters. I think Des Moines has 10.8 concealment. It's just an example. In Moscow, you outspot by 3.2 kilometers. Yeah. The downside of the ship is, for having this great concealment besides the bad armor, is you have barely any HP for a battleship. It's quite low in comparison to other tier 10 BBs. Like, look, example for the GK, you have 32,000 HP less. You can compensate with it though by having a super heal. Again though, it's not gonna help you too much if you get citadeled or if you eat torpedoes, because then you will barely heal anything from it. But against HE spam and normal damage on you, it's pretty decent. To my build, do not wonder, I would probably not run Furious on the ship, to be honest. This is my St. Vincent build. So, and I have Andrew Cunningham on the ship. The good thing is, if we get 2 kills with Andrew Cunningham, we will be able to get another consumable of each type. The downside is, since you have these insane AP guns, you barely shoot HE. Which also means it's gonna hard to proc Cunningham. So you don't really need Cunningham on the Incomparable, to be honest, unless you want to spam HG with these guns. Also, that might be the first kill. Okay, nearly. Why did I say it's the first kill? Because Austin has 32mm in the middle part, and it's pretty much a guaranteed citadel if we hit there. And in fact, we did hit there, and he got citadeled. Also gonna put the ASW on the Balau. Maybe we can kill Austin now. Oh my god, that guy just got so close to his death. The crazy part about having these 508mm guns is that our citadel hits for nearly 20k damage. This citadel hits harder than a lot of torpedoes in the game. 2 citadels and then Austin is dead. We got 1. So just 1 more and he's actually gone. But yeah, how to play the ship? You can play it in some ways very aggressive because you have the good concealment, but that heavily depends if you have a CV game or not. In a CV game like this, if the Shinano decides to go here, our concealment is not going to be much worth. As long as the Shinano is not committing on this flank though, our concealment is gold. And we will be able to rest the enemy and instantly disengage again. But again, to clarify this whole advantage of the insane concealment goes as soon as the CV commits on our side completely away. You have 6 guns, by the way, so you have a bit less firepower than, for example, the Yamato. But the accuracy is a double-edged sword. Technically, you have improved accuracy, but it can be wonky from time to time as well. And again, it's 6 guns, so you don't have the shell volume to always guarantee the hits. Now I'm gonna turn away here because the Marseille is playing it very aggressive and he's called Chuck Norris. So I should have some extra respect because you know Chuck Norris. But yeah, we're going for it. There you can see the improved dispersion. This is gonna be a heavy clap on him, because we can overmatch him. Nice 10k damage. Again, we keep kiting here for now. Colombo is gonna be also quite an opponent we have to be aware of, but as long as we kite away like this, there's no problem. Marseille at this point overextended and will regret his life choices soon, because there's no way he can disengage anymore, and we're just gonna completely farm him like this. There you can see, by the way, the accuracy was kind of ass, for example. We're also gonna get a kill on the enemy submarine here, because Belau can't outturn this anymore. And the enemy submarine is dead. We get a torpedo hit, 2 torpedo hits on Marseille. Big overmatch chunk. This is the perfect scenario right now. We can go dark whenever we want. And like, it's actually like you would be the kiting cruiser right now. But that Marseille has no chance of winning this engagement. He committed against us, he can't angle against us. He's just gonna straight up lose this fight and there's nothing he can do anymore. If he decides to show broadside, we can punish him even harder. And if he decides to keep going like this, he's just gonna lose quite a chunk of HP every time we're reloaded. Oh, he's gone. I want to say now he's showing full broadside, even better for us, but hey. We're gonna push in now again. The Colombo has no range on us, so we can safely turn here. And I'm actually gonna go towards B-ish a bit, because A is still contested with too many ships.
Concentrate fire on the designated
and we don't have really spotting against them. Like again, as long as this ship doesn't get punished by BBs, you're fairly durable, and you just completely smash enemy cruisers. So you should play Incomparable like high cruise? Not necessarily, it depends on the scenarios. You can also play it very aggressive, but you gotta always adjust your playstyle to the current situation in the battle. And here, for example, there's no way for me to play it aggressive. There's DDs outspotting me, and there's a Colombo which smashes me, and I can't disengage. You always have to pay attention. The biggest strength of Incomparable is the good concealment. But the good concealment means nothing if I get perma spotted by a Hoffman and I can't disengage. Because concealment only works if you're dark. Should have given a bit more lead here. Yes, a bit more lead. Oh, we still got a bit of damage. Crazy.
Torpedoes direct front.
Gonna get ready here. He's only going in a straight line. Oh, now he's slowing down. Okay. He learned. Well, anyway, that Austin is also dead. He can't really disengage anymore. We have the island between us and the Colombo, so we don't need to be very afraid of that.
Our team has taken the lead.
One also big advantage of having the good concealment in the CV game is, though, I know that the Hoffman is super close now. Hoffman.
Torpedoes to
Super
port.
close. Oh, I shouldn't have written now. Then we could have prevented these torps, to be honest, but... Anyway. I want to give the CV player the information that the Hoffman is pretty close. That's gonna be a big hit, even with the overpens. Because since we have 20k damage on citadels, that also means that we have nearly 2k of overpen damage. And you saw if we land all 4 of them, that's a lot of damage.
Spotter returning to ship.
I have no interest in fighting the vampire here. I'd rather go for the Hoffman and the Colombo. Hoffman is dead. We're too angled against Colombo AP, so we're safe here. The Colombo should have shot Sepp here. He would have done way more damage on me. But yeah, we're just gonna go away again. We play the same game right now. Colombo committed. We're just gonna go for the overmatch right now. Thanks to Furious, we also have 10% better reload during the fire. And our overmatching guns are just gonna smash the Colombo now. And proc our super heal. And that's the 3rd kill for our team. Again, like, we played it rather defensive here, in the end a bit more aggressive, but there was no reason to go in here because we would have just died against the Vampire Hoffman combination, plus the submarine and the and the, what is it called? The Colombo. Biggest misplay of their team was though the Marseille. He just committed. He just walked into me, and that was a free kill for me pretty much. Because under no way can the Marseille player do a lot to me, while he just gets completely butchered by my massive guns. Yeah, game is pretty much over at this point. Played it quite well through here. Not really any big mistake. And now we're just gonna walk at the Goliath and at the same time shooting a bit at the Vampire. Can we land something here? Come on!
Victory is in sight.
Random hit? Oh, that would have been too cool, to be fair. Yay. So yeah, Incom is an underrated gem, I think. Like, it can be played in such different ways and super sneaky and so, which you cannot really do in any other BB. So in that way, it's super unique, and it also has 32mm of overmatch. Like, the drawbacks of not having the HP pool and not, like, for example, look how I'm barely able to heal anything anymore because we got some massive damage, pen damage on us, and not really like fire or flood damage. So the super heal is not as good as you might think on this. But having this sneaky concealment with the great or super big high caliber guns is really nice. It's something completely unique. And I've seen Count back in the day when it was released. Now people know about it, but back in the day when the ship was released, I just remember all the countless faces when people were mauling in chat, like when you suddenly like smashed the Hindenburg from the side and you were not spotted before, and the people are like, yeah, what is this battleship? Why does it have such concealment? Why didn't we see it? That's ridiculous, and so on. And yeah, you don't have that anymore because people now know, most people know about the ship, but the faces back in the day were super gold when you could just outspot the Des Moines and you just surprised him and he had no clue about it, and yeah. Good old times. Before Shinano existed. We're now just gonna overmatch the Goliath as well. He can't angle against these shells either. So, smash. Oh, we hit actually the Citadel belt with one. But also one pen. So, GG. That is how to Incomparable, my friends. Way harder to play in the CV game, but the CV was not really committed on us, so that was very relaxing in that case. We ended up second in the scoreboard, 3 kills, 126k damage. We also took quite some damage, but again, we can't heal a lot. The opening on the Austin was also very nice. That Marseille player really demanded pushing into us. And against the other ones, we played it a bit safer. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And also be sure to check this thing out. It's not the best steel ship. I think that still goes to Bourgogne and Mecklenburg, but battleship. But I still think it's worth if you really want to have something unique. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye, my friends.